Oh, sorry. I was jamming to that. Thank you, Jay Lee, for making me that little intro. I see y'all have been just going at it in the comments before I even do this review. Whew, child, look. Sorry I'm a little late. I was just moisturizing my face. Pardon me. I've been laying down all day because this was one day that I had to myself. So I was just like, let me just chill out, you know? But yes, happy hump day, one of my favorite days for obvious reasons. I am pumped up on some Celsius. They are not paying me yet. But yeah, this is my review for The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 14 Reunion Part 3. Whew, we are at the end of the road, y'all. Cause it's so hard to say goodbye to Beverly Hills. Is it though? Because y'all can't stand the cast outside of Garcelle. I'm just saying. Y'all like look, Chelsea Lawrence started it off. Like she lit the match. Like you came in, look, like almost an hour before this review started. Before this starts, I challenge everyone to tell me one thing. What did Bowles do to Garcelle during these 3 parts to deserve the hate being sent her way? We have 42 minutes to formulate an answer. Shout out to you, Chelsea. I appreciate that. Some house rules. This is just my opinion. Don't unfollow me just because like I'm holding like one of your faves to task. Like we just having fun. Can I have fun, please? Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Yeah. Keep it cute in the comments. I'm not sure if my mods are here yet, but yeah, like just can we just keep it cute? Can we just like have different opinions? Is that fair? Anyway, yeah, so let's get into this. I'm really excited to talk about this because look, I've been trying to keep my mouth shut on Bowles and Garcelle's, little Cold War that was initiated by the fans. And now that I've seen all 3 parts, I can now form an opinion. Yes, I think it was a very unnecessary 3rd part. But what I was about to say, it was something else. Oh, yes, before we begin, please make sure you hit the like video. I need it. I'm a baby YouTuber compared to all of your favorite reviewers, so I need it more. I'm just saying. Make sure you subscribe if you have not. I'm at 16,195. Let's get me to 16,200. That's pretty easy. I'm 5 away. But yeah, let's get into this. So we continue from Dorit accusing Sutton of buying people. And she's giving us her version of she's starting, like referring to Sutton when she says, honey. Sutton asks her who she's tried to buy, but Dorit doesn't go there. And I think it was smart for her not to say, exactly who. In this moment, Jennifer Tilly speaks up for her and says she doesn't try to buy people. She's just a generous person. Followed by Kooky Kathy calling her frugal. Sutton? I didn't get that. Somebody get Mama to bed. Like Kathy was just saying a bunch of old random ass things. Like I get it, why she's there, but it was just kind of getting annoying, and I was tired of it. Thank you, Ashley Woods, for my first super chat of the evening. I love Garcelle, but her reunion performance showed she was over it. I have no issues with Bowles, though. I don't either. Let's see. So Andy moves on to Garcelle calling Bowles Dorit's spokesperson. Now, surprisingly, they didn't unpack the irony of Garcelle calling Bowles someone else's spokesperson. Instead, Bowles is just saying why she intervened in the first place. She's like, it was obvious to me what was going on. And if she was going to leave, then leave. You can leave. Because she was holding everyone else up at the party, like at the door. But then Bowles accuses Sutton of referring to her as an angry black woman in the after show. Now, I knew when I saw that and heard the word angry when Sutton said that in her confessional. Well, no, at the after show, I was like, she's going to have to explain that. Like, you use the word angry. You use the word angry referring to a black woman. Now, I will say, um, well, when Bose said angry black woman, Garcelle was like, who said that? Sutton doesn't remember, and Bose tells Garcelle, and you were right there, Garcelle, and didn't catch it. Oh, oh. But you know, Garcelle is usually there and doesn't catch it. Catch that. But Jennifer Tilly remembered. She remembered, like, yeah, you called her angry in the given situation. Now, I would love to know, what did y'all think about that? Because, you know, I did see a clip of they showed Bose, and she did look upset in that scene. But I'm just saying, if it was, and we could be 100, we could be 100 here. We're real on this channel. Now, if it was Dorit that called any black woman angry, and maybe the black woman was yelling at her or whatever, there would still be a monumental portion of the audience saying that, oh, get this racist bitch out of here. You know, all hell would have broke loose. But I feel like it's different, you know, in this situation. But I don't know. I just feel like the consistency with the fans be off sometimes. But I can say that it's debatable, because I don't think Bowles was really angry in the scene. I think she was frustrated, because I think this was after Garcelle called her a spokesperson. And just like, why are y'all doing this right now? And I don't think she raised her voice. But apparently in the clip, it seemed that she was bothered by that situation. I do think, though, that Bowles should have really leaned in on the weaponized comment. Y'all remember that when Sutton was trying to comfort her vocabulary, because there was no debating that. Like, I would say it's debatable with the angry comment, but it's not debatable when it comes to when you were having the whole weaponized conversation. Let's see. Sutton then tells Bowles that, yeah, you were yelling. And that's when Bowles like, hold up, slow your roll. You better. I ain't never yelled at anybody. And Sutton is like, well, you came in strong. Bowles is like, I am strong. The look on Andy's face when she said that, he was like, oh, all right. Sutton tries to tell her, well, you didn't know what was going on. And Bowles is like, well, it didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what was going on. And I was like, good point. Good point. Like, she really didn't need to come in the scene. Okay, y'all, what's happening? What happened? Like, Sutton said at the door, if y'all remember, like, I'm leaving. And everyone was just trying to get her to stay. And, you know, there was 5 cast members at the door. So, yeah, I don't know. What did y'all think? Let me see. Bothered, yes. Angry, no. Raised her voice, no. What made Garcelle's exit so anticlimactic is that she waited all the way to the end. If she left in the middle of the reunion, then the exit would have had somewhat an effect. And that's what I've been talking about. Like, I kind of went viral today, because I always do when I have these takes on Beverly Hills, especially when it involves Garcelle. I said that her walk-off was a cop-out. And yeah, I think it was a cop-out, and I think it was overhyped. And I will get into that at the end of the episode. But yeah, I agree with your take. Bowles was frustrated for sure, but using angry as an adjective for a black woman can be triggering. Yeah, but I saw the clip before they aired the episode, and a lot of people were mad at her for trying to, like, I guess, you know, weaponize, there goes that word again, weaponize race in that situation. But like I said, it was debatable to me, depending on who looked at it. Now, again, when she talked about, you know, the word weaponized, then yeah, I was just like, well, there's no debating that. Like that was kind of a microaggression. Let's see how long Garcelle would last in ATL. They'd read her for her wigs and horrible. Look, and I think what happened was Garcelle got way too comfortable on the show. She thought she was untouchable. And yeah, I mean, Garcelle knows how the game works. Like, I love my girl, but she knew she was the fan favorite. And when you're the fan favorite, you have a home field advantage. And you don't think that the women are going to come for you because they know that on social media, their fans are going to attack them. And yeah, it's come in Garcelle's benefit when in a lot of situations where she was right. But, that doesn't mean that Erica, isn't allowed to whack her, even if Erica's in the wrong. Like, if Erica's in the wrong, then defend yourself, Garcelle. And she couldn't. And the lady saw her Achilles heel, and she was just like, oh, well, she's not good at confrontation. Let's get her. And they did. And it is what it is. Like, I'm not sure why people are taking this to heart so much. Like, on these shows, on the Housewives shows, the pendulum swings. It's not always going to be in your faves. I lost my train of thought. It's not always going to be in your faves' favor. That's all I'm saying. Like, we can have an honest conversation, but it just always, like, we're always going to, like, the low-hanging fruit. Oh, these women are racist. They're racist. If this show was majority racist, I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't watch it. Like, I don't know. I just think we should just bring a little bit more nuance to it. But I know that we don't want to have that conversation. Anywho, let me see. Where was I? So we move on to Dorit's comment. Bose is asked about it. Like the comment regarding the watermelon drink and saying that her drink had alcohol in it. Of course she did. Bose is asked about it. She says, yeah, I thought it was intentional. So yeah, Bose wasn't up her ass at this point, for the people in the chat who hate Bose. Dorit and Sutton are now going back and forth on the narrative of Sutton being a drunk and who started it. And not Dorit bringing up an article from 2020 when Sutton says she has her first drink at 10 a.m. in the morning. Girl, please. Like, Dorit, come on now. Like, you bringing up articles from 5 years ago. Dorit tells Sutton, if I wanted to paint you as an alcoholic, I would be doing a lot more than what I've done. You can hear a pin drop in the room when she said that. Probably because it sounded like a threat. Dorit tells, she establishes that when Sutton hits her, she's going to hit back harder. And that wasn't a threat. That was a promise. Now, if y'all notice, Andy was trying to move on during this, but Dorit and Sutton kept going at it. Rewind that scene because he was trying to ask Bose a question about Kyle, but they had to skip the question altogether. And I looked at the uncensored version, this specific part, to see if they cut it out, but it just looks like Andy moved on to another question involving Erica's comment of Sutton kicking women while they're down. Now, the importance of this, why I bring this up, was because I wanted to hear the question for Bose and Kyle, because I know it had to deal with her assessment of her being cold, because that happened at Dorit's 4th of July party. And I really wanted them to break that down, but we didn't get to that. So did y'all notice that too? Like, he kept trying to say, so Bose, what did you think about Kyle? And it was just really unfortunate we couldn't unpack that, because that was something interesting to bring up at the reunion. Anywho, Jennifer helps Sutton out again and says she's never witnessed it, Sutton kicking women while they were down, but she could see the viewpoint, how it may have come off as a trend in this particular group. Sutton tries to throw Dorit and Kyle under the bus for asking questions too. Around season 11 when they all had questions about, the whole Tom Girardi incident. And Erica's like, oh, no, 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 no. We're talking about you. We're talking about you. I already dealt with these bitches in private. And I agree with Sutton. Like, it's time to let the mouse go. Like, and move on from when she questioned you. But I think Erica's just going to go to the grave with this. Like, she is going to, like, be 80 years old, keep trying to tap Sutton for making her life a living hell in season 11. But according to Erica, she just wants Sutton to acknowledge the pattern in the group. So then Garcelle is asked a question about Sutton and can barely get her words out because she's still pissed from earlier in the day, from part 1. So she segues this into letting, I guess, the cast and Andy know that she's pissed. They asked her about what, and she says, all of it, honestly. And like, I don't want to answer any more questions. And I'm just like, now this was the moment where you should have just walked off if you're just done answering questions. Like, but she stayed. And I was really disappointed by that. Sutton then makes the moment about her as if Garcelle didn't even say anything. Like, she was like, oh yeah, and I feel like this group, doesn't like me. Okay, Erica says, I like you. I just want to trust you. They go back and forth for a bit, and they kind of come to an understanding, but the jury is still out with Dorit and Sutton. So then, before they move on, at least Andy is trying his best to give Garcelle the floor to speak her mind and ask why is she steaming right now? Because look, when she came back on that stage after getting whacked by Erica and Kyle, and then lastly Dorit, look, she was steaming for real. But then the floor is hers for her to like tell these women where to go and where they can shove whatever she wants up their ass. It's crickets. And then she says, all of it. All of it. Like, I'm pissed about all of it. Like, all of what, girl? All of what? Like, she says she doesn't think she gets any grace in this group. She says she takes accountability for what she says, but it's not accepted. And I'm assuming what she's talking about, and I'm right because we heard it at the end, she's referring to the robbery. And there's a pause, and then she says, not one person looked at me and smiled. Not looked at you and smiled? Come on now, Garcelle. Like again, at that point, she should have just got her ass up, best dressed at the reunion and leave. Get that bread, get that head, and leave. Like, for real. Like, I don't know. Are we buying this excuse, y'all? They didn't smile at me. Like, I like Garcelle, but what? Like, Garcelle was like, all smiles and everything. Like, I would love for us to take a picture this time, but she did not expect, to be in the hot seat. And unfortunately, it's coming off as a child not getting their way. Like, I mean, this is a reunion, girl. What do you expect? Like, did you forget, like, what platform you're on? Like, defend the stances that you have and read a bitch. Like, why do you expect these women to give you any type of grace? They don't give Sutton grace. You sure didn't give, you and Sutton didn't give Kyle any grace when she's trying to, like, hide Morgan's ass. So yeah, I'm just like, come on. Like, I wanted to shake Garcelle through the TV screen. I'm rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. So then they move on. During a quick break, we hear Garcelle telling Sutton she can't stand them all. Can't stand them all. But for some reason, y'all all expected Bose at, Watch What Happens Live that clearly happened after the reunion for her to stand up for Garcelle, even though she can't stand all of them. Like, make it make sense, please. So then Sutton again, if y'all realize, she's making it all about her again and says, they really hate me. Didn't even listen to what Garcelle had to say, that she was burning up. So then the next reel is dedicated to a fluff piece about all the women being single, blah, blah, blah. Garcelle is asked about her roster, but homegirl is just so defeated, not even trying to respond to what Erica said about peaking. Y'all caught that too? She was just like, well, maybe I did. What? just wow. Like, I'd rather she just left than just take that comment. Like, for real, you just gonna let Erica get away with that you just peaked? Like, I get it. Maybe she was just fulfilling her contract until the photo. Maybe they don't get paid like all the money unless they stick around to the whole reunion. But at least she would have left with look, a lot of y'all said, well, she left with her dignity. She left with her head held high. She's classier. Classy and on the Housewives platform. It's classy as she can be. And I love Garcelle. I really do. But I would rather her leave than subject herself to just like retreating and giving up, you know? So yeah. So then we're talking about Erica's bounce back. I will say the only interesting part about this segment was her talking about her son, because she never really discusses it. Erica and Tom, they get to that, and look, the horse has been beaten to dust. We then move on to a reel dedicated to Sutton's trip to Augusta with her mom. Sutton says she hasn't discussed the episodes with her mom present day. I don't know. Like, if she saw what Sutton said in her confessional about her, I don't know, it might make their relationship worse. So I don't think her mom should watch, back the episodes, hearing what Sutton had to say, because it looked like she was blaming her for her father's death. Low key, high key. Also, I know Sutton saw the comments calling her mom a racist. I know she had to see that. Let's see. So we're halfway through the reunion at this point, y'all. And I gotta say, it was not giving me what I needed. I was kind of not disappointed yet, but I was just expecting a little bit more. I can't put my finger on it. Y'all help me out in the comments. Yeah, she totally blamed her mom. They now give former housewife Teddy a little shout out, which was nice. They move on to Kyle and Mauricio and the footage of him kissing some woman. Before we get into it, though, side note, what is it with the reactions of the crystal that Kyle had in her hand falling to the floor? They were just like, Kyle. Like, her dropping the crystal on the floor. What's the big deal? Is it the equivalent of setting a Bible on fire? I didn't get that. Someone explain that to me in the comments or, in the live right now. So Kyle gives us updates on her and Mauricio's relationship. Things have not changed at all. She starts to cry. Here go the tears. I just rolled my eyes. Just same song, different day. Same song, different day. Kathy says she wants to see them reconcile, but then again, Kathy isn't in her right mind. I'm not taking anything she says seriously. So far, it's just poor Kyle. She doesn't, blame the show, but it's just multiple factors outside of it. It's a sign of bad energy. Okay. No one but Dorit and Bose brought anything this reunion. Garcelle and Sutton weren't prepared, and Erica and Kyle don't show their lives. I kind of halfway agree with this. Halfway. What did Garcelle want Grace for? That accusation of a planned burglary? Exactly. That is a serious crime, insurance fraud that can trigger a police investigation and serious prison time. Exactly. Like, I don't understand what she wanted grace for. Oh, I took accountability for what I said. Yeah, you did. And now, there's a consequence for your words. Like, we can all like gas her up in the confessionals. Oh, she threw that shade. You heard what she said? She said what the audience was thinking. Okay, well, now you gotta back that shit up on the reunion in front of the ladies that you were talking about. Like, this is the platform you signed up for. So now when it don't go your way, you want to take your toys and go home? Like, that's what it came off as, y'all. And I'm just going to keep it a buck. I like Garcelle, but I'm just tired of the fans that are just coddling her. Like, because this would not fly on Housewives of Atlanta. This would not fly on Potomac. And look, Miami is coming up. And when a lot of people don't talk about, there's 2 Black women on that show, and the diversity is not forced on Miami. Like, you don't even like realize that they're shoehorning Black women in. It's just, oh, this is the cast. They're all real friends. They get along. But then it really boggles my mind, because if we're gonna keep it 100, Black people don't really see Miami like that. Like, they don't watch Real Housewives of Miami for some reason, but I get it. Like, a lot of Black people grew up with the Jamie Foxx show, so they have this already relationship with Garcelle. They don't really have a relationship with Gertie and Kiki. But I would love if more Black people tuned in to Real Housewives of Miami, because I mean, y'all seen the ratings last season. I mean, they were like, a little bit, they were like in the Salt Lake City range, even though their show is really good. And shout out to the people in the chat that love Miami. I like it. It's just, it's a great example that 2 Black women can exist on a show where, they're not the minority. So yeah, where am I? Kyle is then called out for alluding that Mauricio cheated last season and then acting obtuse this season. Like, again, she goes on trying to protect her daughters. I'm like, get off the show. Get off the show then if you want to protect your daughters and you don't want to tell the truth. Because if some other cast member scandal happened, you want to know what happened, but you don't want to disclose this all for a silly reality show. Then get the fuck off the silly reality show then. But she won't. She won't. Andy moves on to Kyle. Wait. Sorry, I skipped over something. Kyle then gives her opinion on the photos, and she's saying she's not angry, she's not devastated, and she's not jealous. Do we believe that? Do we believe that? I think it does sting her a bit when she saw Mauricio with Anita. Anita's fine, sexy ass, her Brazilian ass. Look, Anita is fine. And then I guess that photo of him kissing that other girl, I think she was livid. I really do. Let's see. I'm glad y'all love Miami. Real talk, Beverly Hills should be 80% Persians because that's who lives in Beverly Hills. Also, I emphasize. Ooh, you're gonna give me a stroke. I empathize. I think that's what you mean. I empathize with Garcelle. She is just not made like those other girls. Hand-to-hand combat is not her thing. We'll miss her on the show. Sutton can go. She is a pick-me times 10. What prices Garcelle? Ooh, y'all got to proofread before y'all hit send. Y'all got to proofread. What prices Garcelle was being a chicken is what she threw out that dog whistle, and of all the people on the reunion. I will get to that. Let's see. She did not say that. She did not say she would sue Garcelle. She just said it was a really terrible, terrible thing to do, but we will get in on that. We will get to that. Oh, let's see. So then Andy moves on to Kyle coming to terms with being a lesbian, probably. She has not, admitted this yet. She says she had a conversation with her daughters, though. She seems to be really conservative and concerned with what people think, that it really rattles her to just come out. But, fine. I will give this to Kyle. Like, this is my only empathy I'm going to give Kyle. It is really hard to come out the closet, especially back then I can see, now not so much, but maybe in her mind it's just such a big step for her to admit that. Kooky Kathy, she keeps chiming in, and I'm really glad Kyle told her to pipe down. You doing too much. But yeah, Kyle just gives the insinuation that it's going to happen in time. And not this Hallmark sentimental music production added to the end of this segment. I'm just like, whatever. So we're at the end, and Andy asked the cast what was their biggest surprise, blah, blah, blah. We don't want to hear that. I don't care. I will say Sutton saying her biggest surprise was her and Erica having fun moments together and hope it can continue next season. That's what probably pissed Garcelle off. Like, really? This bitch just came for me and you're saying that your biggest surprise was hanging out with that bitch and then hoping that y'all can hang together next season? So then Andy proposes a toast led by Jennifer Tilly with the watermelon drinks that caused the drama between Dorit and Sutton. They've been drinking watermelon. While they toast, the camera makes sure to get Garcelle not cheersing anybody. So then Andy says with such excitement and glee, guess what? We're gonna get the cast photo. Garcelle then sits her drink down and says, I'm out. Look, the face crack that Andy had, oh my God, he was gagged. He was so gagged. The rest of the ladies, they're just like, what? As she's just walking off, they're all disappointed. Dorit is saying, Garcelle, that's not cool. It's so unprofessional. As if Garcelle gives a fuck what you think, Dorit. I'm not sure why she said that of all people. And y'all notice Sutton didn't go after her. She did not go after her. Sutton took that picture. So here's the thing. I think what's crazy is Garcelle is the one who wanted that cast photo in the first place. And the ladies are all confused in this moment why she's so angry. And, we find out because she was still stewing from part one. And look, they said this was 9 hours later, y'all. 9 hours later, she was still mad that they was bopping her. And she just that's why I'm like, at that point, you should have never came back. I think someone said in the chat that it would have had more weight, her leaving, if she just would have left in the middle of the reunion instead of okay, well, I'm going to make sure I get that check, so I'm going to stay till the end, and then just not do the photo though. So I'm just like, you stay to the end, girl. You might as well just take the photo and just make your announcement later. You don't fuck with these bitches. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It just lost the weight that I thought it was going to give. And look, I think Garcelle, she left while, she held her head high. I get it. But I was really disappointed by her reunion performance. I really was. I think she just went out in a way where I just thought it could have been better. It really could have. So then the cameraman goes back to her in her dressing room And she's talking about the robbery that she brought up. And I'm just like, girl, is Dorit really supposed to say, well, oh, Garcelle, I get where you're coming from. I get it. I can see how, the robbery where I said that I had a gun to my head and I was worried about my children's lives and my own life, where it really flashed in front of my eyes. I can see how that was fake, girl. I can see how my husband orchestrated all of this. Is that how y'all expected Dorit to sound? Because Garcelle was just like, I took accountability for what I said. They didn't give me grace. Fuck those bitches. It just sounds crazy to me. So let me see what y'all are saying. I think the headline made the walkout a bigger deal than it was, not Garcelle. Well, it is what it is. It is what it is. And she made sure to do her announcement before the season finale. Remember that. So we couldn't even make an opinion because we already know what she did. Let's see. Garcelle saying they're all effing a-holes is rich. A-holes that accuse others of faking a robbery. A-holes who try to force you out the closet. Not you coming for Garcelle like that. Garcelle was more angry at Bose for no reason. Exactly. And we're going to get to that. Because you should be mad at your white homegirl who didn't have your back. And you've had her back for seasons. And look, I saw this tweet before I logged on today, and it said Erica was right. Like, they pulled up the clip of Erica and her sitting down having that lunch, that dinner. And Erica was like, I think Sutton is a liability for you. I'm glad you have your friend Sheree. And Garcelle was like, really? A liability? And someone brought up a good point. Like, well, because she defended Sutton, like, she really didn't get a chance to really have friendships with the other ladies. It was always Sutton and Garcelle versus the other ladies. Always. It was them, it was an us and them situation. Now, I can see that side. I'm not fully agreeing with it, but I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't think of that. So let me see what else. Like, I'm just thinking, what if Garcelle never brought up the robbery? Like, would she still even be on the season? Because I think that was what really pissed her off, that she really had to atone for what she said. Let's see. Garcelle looking for a friend in her enemies is weird. Look, we gonna get to that. So, let's see. So she felt that she was jumped on about that, and she can't be friends with people like that. I can't trust them. And I'm just like, I don't even think they whacked her that bad compared to some people. Like, compare them to some reunions, y'all. Like, and also, to be fair, can they say the same thing about Garcelle? Like, can Kyle trust Garcelle? Can Erica trust Garcelle? Because the way Garcelle was talking Cash Money shit about them in their confessionals, and how they literally have on camera, again, I have to bring this up, Garcelle and Sutton plan to, like, how can we bring up Morgan on this trip? Where did they go again? St. Lucia? How can we plan to bring this up? Like, can they trust you? Like, I don't get it. Like, the line is always moving. Thank you for the super chat, Tamara. Sutton is right. They do not like her. Garcelle is mad because Sutton never defended her. I agree with that. Quite the contrary. Sutton wanted approval from the popular girls. Yep, she did. She definitely did. Did Garcelle ever confirm the skin folk comment was about Bose? Anne-Marie says she was surprised Garcelle hadn't left the country. No. So when they filmed the reunion, like, I'm sorry. Like, when you post something like that, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Even if she didn't even mean it about Anne Marie, I think she wanted people to start guessing who she was talking about because she could only be talking about two black people. Only two black people. And it didn't help that, Anne Marie was in the news too, but she posted this right after the reunion was filming, like finished filming. So let's not be like obtuse about that. Like we know that she did that on purpose. She did that with intent. Now, I just don't understand. Like, did Garcelle forget what show she was on? Like, I think she was so used to being coddled and never put in a hot seat that the first time she did, like the first time she was put in a hot seat, she ran for the hills. Like, could you imagine if every housewife did this? Like, oh my God, I don't like this. I don't like this feeling. Let me get off the show. And look, thankfully, Garcelle is a bad bitch and she don't need the check. Clearly. Like she used the show for what she wanted, like every housewife should. Shout out to Bowles for just getting a show with Jimmy Fallon. Like, get that bread, get that hand, and leave. Peace out. Let me see. So backstage, the ladies are back on stage. The ladies are still talking about it. Sutton is like, well, maybe she feels like it's a bit unfair. And Erica's like, what's unfair? Sutton then says, well, I don't really understand it. Oh my God. Like, really? Like, Sutton can at least pretend she knows what her friend is mad about. So then they take the photo while Garcelle is yelling at her help, saying that she's done and the women are assholes. So then later, Sutton goes to Garcelle's dressing room and Garcelle already hightailed it out of there. Sutton is shocked and then she says, well, we were supposed to have supper. And that is where the reunion ends. Oh, you want me to go back on Brooke Ashley's channel? Look, I told Brooke, like, whenever you want me on, just let me know. She said she would think about it. And look, like I said, I love how there's so many like Bravo podcasts, but there's not many Black Bravo podcasts that we can talk about the drama. And I think me and Brooke would be a good podcast together. I think we have good chemistry. So, like if you want to see us and make sure you support us, let us know. Let us know if you want us to do something like that. I would love to do like a Bravo rundown type of show, whether it talks about Atlanta, where we talk about the real. Because, I feel like what me and Brooke have in common, like we're not stands for these housewives. Like we see nuances in the situation and we can agree to disagree. So yeah, that's why Brooke is my girl. And we both live in New York too. It would be so easy. Anywho, shout out to Brooke Ashley. I can't wait to see her review as well. Go check her out and go follow her if you're not. Thank you, Tamara. You're really generous tonight. I appreciate it. Every time Garcelle was talking smack in the confessionals, I was like, girl, you better be able to handle that at the reunion. For that reason, I am disappointed. We see each other. For real, Anywho, let's see. So let's talk about the reunion altogether. I thought it was very anticlimactic. Like they should have never shown like part 3. Like, I don't know why they showed Garcelle not toasting and walking off. They could have saved that scene. Why did y'all show that already? I don't get that. Even though the ratings, they finished really strong. They finished strong. But I think before we saw that clip, it was initially suspected that Garcelle left the reunion early. And we were just wondering, like when I was on Brooke Ashley's channel, like what happened, because she didn't leave after part 1. She stayed. So I was thinking the whole time, so what else transpired to make Garcelle want to leave early? And we saw nothing happen between the end of part 1 and part 3. She was still just stewing and sulking from 9 hours ago when they were at her about the robbery. So I don't know. Like, she just stayed the whole time. So it kind of just let the air out of, you know, the it let the air out of the punch that walking out and leaving the show for good would have given her. But yeah, like a lot of her stands are going to say, so what? So what? She got her check. Fine. Fine. I understand that. I understand that. We can agree to disagree. That's just how I feel. That's how I feel. Also, it just makes her look like she had a temper tantrum. I'm sorry. Like, things just didn't go the way that she wanted to. She went to that reunion all cheesed up, all smiles, relaxed, because she thought she was going to have an easy reunion. Like, oh, Sutton, your ass going to be in the hot seat, not me. You know, or Kyle and Dorit going to be fussing. It's going to be between them three. I'm just going to be relaxing, collecting this check. But then I guess she didn't expect that her words in her confessionals would come back to bite. So it is what it is. Oh my God, here we go. Here we go. No shade, Chris. Love you. And we'll watch you until the sun sets. But you can't say you love Garcelle and then complain excessively about who she is. So with that logic, Cynthia just must have not loved Kenya when she called her out for saying you're bigger than this. So I guess Cynthia don't really love Kenya. She a fake ass friend. So yeah, I guess I don't love Garcelle. Even though I bought her book, I was at her signing. I made sure to support her at BravoCon. I don't like Garcelle. You got me. You got me. The jig is up. Anyway, but yeah, I just really hate how they show everything before the show airs. Like, they need to stop doing that. And I also think the reunion could have been just 2 1 hour and 15-minute episodes, honestly. The stands make you dislike people you actually like. Kind of, sorta, maybe. What is that other fan/viewer see that having them rallying behind Garcelle and feels like she was attacked and was targeted? Am I missing something that the people are seeing? It's so weird folks be mad at you for not having the same opinion as them. Parasocial much? I mean, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So now, y'all, let's get to the bows of it all. Let's get to the bows of it all. I'm about to say my thoughts and drop my mic because, you know, I was holding my mule because I was like, let me not comment too hard on bows because I might be eating crow. I might be eating crow. Maybe she says something that was problematic, that was, you know, geared towards Garcelle. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I'm just like, okay, so she said the angry black woman comment. That was something else that she said, but I was like, okay, that's debatable. And, you know, her saying, well, Garcelle, you was right there too. I mean, look, when you hear angry described as a black, you know, describing a black woman coming from a white person, your ears just perk up a little bit. Even if you don't agree with it, even if you do agree with it, your ears still perk up. And Garcelle didn't even remember Sutton saying that. Jennifer Tilly did. Jennifer Tilly remembered that Sutton said that she was angry. Yeah, you said she was angry. So yeah, it wasn't that. So then I'm just wondering, okay, what did Bose do? So let's check the timeline. So let's go to Watch What Happens Live. That is exactly what people are mad at. They are mad that Bose was just sitting there when Andy was like, well, do you have any thoughts on Garcelle leaving? Are you going to go? People are mad at that. And then Eric is like, won't he do it? People are mad at that. Bose let that slide. And I'm just like, oh, and also I think Erica said something else. I can't remember. But she was getting her little slick shade in, even though Erica, they were reading her like, you can't really talk, Erica. Like, we can get over that. Like, we can read Erica for filth too. Whatever. But we're talking about Bose, why she didn't do anything. And people just being like, oh, well, Bose is shucking and jiving. She got her head up these white women asses, these racist white women. I'm like, Erica, even though she was being shady, she didn't say anything problematic. I'm sure if Erica said something like that was sideways, Bose would check her, and I would check Bose. But I'm just wondering, what does Bose owe Garcelle in this moment? So now let's look at the timeline now, since we see what happened at the reunion. So we also see that, well, Bose didn't see this, but Garcelle is saying all these women are assholes. And I'm thinking, well, Bose is included in that. And I think she's mad because we already saw she's mad about the robbery. That was the main thing she talked about when she went back to her dressing room to change. So, and they even played the clip of Bose saying, well, to accuse her of a crime that you can't even prove is really, really, really terrible. And I can't back you up on that. And I think that was the part that really pissed Garcelle off, that Bose jumped in on that. And I'm just like, I would have said the same thing. I said the same thing in my review. I'm just like, Garcelle, why would you put yourself in that position? You know that, look, you got yourself in trouble because, the fans, like you seeing what the fans saying. And look, it is plausible. I think that, something in the milk ain't clean with that robbery. But still, it's a difference between me thinking that and saying it on this platform than Garcelle saying it, knowing PK and Dorit on the platform where almost 1 million fucking people watch every episode. There, where an investigation can be put in. Like, and also you're thinking like, well, what if it was true? What if it was true? Like, Dorit was like scared for her life and her kids' life. So I'm just like, I don't get why you're mad at Bose because of that. So then after the reunion, we're still going in the timeline. She posts, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. I'm sure Bose saw that and was like, is this bitch talking about me? Is she talking about me? And is she mad because all I said was, I was holding her ass to task for saying that? Really? Really? The only other black woman in the cast, and you gonna try to question my blackness? No. So I'm not gonna have your back when I'm sitting my ass and Watch What Happens Live. I'm gonna just be like, okay, she gone. Like, why would you expect Bose, knowing the reunion just passed, because that Watch What Happens Live episode was after the reunion filmed and after Garcelle posted that shady meme or whatever. So yeah, I see where Bose is coming from in her mind. Like, why should I have to defend Garcelle, who just said all skin folk ain't kinfolk? Like, that's what I'm wondering. So that explains why Bose was acting the way she was on Watch What Happens Live. And then everybody coming for her. So I just don't understand that, y'all. Like, again, I don't understand the hate. I don't. And yeah, I thought that was rude. I thought that was whack of Garcelle to put out that dog whistle, because that's something that Candace would do. She put out that dog whistle knowing her fans would attack Bose. And then everything happened. Everything happened after that. And I think, Garcelle would have some empathy of all these people attacking a black woman, a dark-skinned black woman, like that. Like, they were really coming for Bose, everybody. And just knowing that, her son was attacked that way. So why would you do that? And I can still call her out just like how Cynthia called out Kenya. Like, I just didn't think that was cool. And that's my opinion. It's my opinion. So yeah, if you ain't feeling Bose, that's fine. That's fine. That's just my opinion, what I just said. If you disagree, that is fine. So yeah, that is my opinion on the whole bows of it all. I don't think she like did anything wrong in that reunion to get the hate that was coming her way. People calling her bozo, people trying to dig up her history in the workplace over a fucking TV show. A TV show? Anyway, I got myself riled up. I'm sweating now. Anyway, y'all, with the reunion, I gave it a B minus. And I'm being generous. I'm giving the season as well as the reunion a B minus. I want to give it a C plus. C plus. But there was some entertaining moments. I like the season of Beverly Hills. Will we watch? Will we watch next season? I'm definitely watching. I'm getting this coin. My favorite franchise. I think they're going to do something. I think they're going to get a big name to replace Garcelle. They usually do. People love this platform. No matter how, like, you know, it's reality TV, it's fussing and fighting, it's shade. Like, people love this platform. There is somebody in line. No matter if, you know, somebody has like a big ass fan base, all these women, Bravo, NBC, Universal will continue to remind these housewives that you are replaceable. You are replaceable. So yeah, hopefully next season they get it right. I would only prefer Kyle next season if she came out as a lesbian. And I just want her to come clean, finally. But I'll be watching. Will you be watching? Let me know. I feel like I exhausted everything. I probably lost a lot of followers, y'all, after speaking my mind, my real thoughts. I'm sure a lot of other YouTubers will be, you know, have their foam finger out for Garcelle. It is what it is. But this is not the channel for that. I'm sorry. I'm just going to give you the real. I'm going to give you the real. Whew. So yeah, y'all, with that, make sure you'll follow me on my Twitter, where I have my housewives' thoughts and opinions. That's CDiggy1. It's in the description below. Patreon.com/CDiggy1, where you get to know, you know, a little bit more about me, behind the scenes shit. I'm going to Vegas on Sunday. I will be documenting my travel on the Patreon. I'm excited. I'm just going for 2 days. So the Real Housewives of Atlanta review is going to be a little bit late. What else? The Cash App, $CDiggy1. Support the channels. $CDiggy1. That's my Venmo. It's all in the description. But yeah, y'all, I enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching me this evening. I feel like I just exhausted everything. I hope y'all enjoyed this review. I was very passionate. With that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the next episode.